Alright, today we're going to be doing an unboxing video of the Creality 3D Print Mill, or Naomi Woo's 3D Print Mill. Now, I backed this on Kickstarter late last year, and ended up that this showed up actually 2 months early. I wasn't supposed to get it for an additional 2 months, but it showed up last week, and we're going to take a look at it as I pay attention to cutting it open. So let's get it open and take a look at the inside here, see what we've got. And I'm sorry if the headset creates any weird audio. I wanted to use it instead of doing anything with a external mic. That is a very large piece of styrofoam, which, if you've bought Creality products before, you would see from the get-go. So let me get the camera adjusted here, and we can take a look at what we see after pulling off that piece of foam. Okay, so as you can see here, we got quite a bit of nice foam. I really do like this packaging layout here. This was the top piece, just for reference, and that was sitting like this. So when I pulled it off, first thing I saw was this. So what do we got? Looks like instructions, some test PLA. Yep, PLA, which is fine. I've got plenty of that. Hardware kit. USB. Actually, oh yeah, so this is micro USB. Oh, excuse me, sorry. This is a SD card. Regular size. I thought it was a micro SD card. And it is not an adapter. This is the adapter. And this is just a micro or standard SD card. Fittings and interchangeable nozzles. They look like they're 0.4 millimeter. Anyway. And tools and cabling that normally come with these. And if we go ahead, we've got a brace bar here, which has the filament runout sensor on it. Right there. Let's see what else. Oh, power cord. And the whole... Oh, one more thing back here, sorry. Oh, and then I got the Creality box, which is supposed to be their version of remote control access for this. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. Just a quick look at that with a reflection of the camera. And then this whole upper part contains, or is it plugged in? Oh, there's more. Teflon tube for the Bowden. Looks like it's a spare because there's already a Bowden tube. And then another crossbar right here. That's one of the sides. And I know there's a piece here, which is filament holder roll, or filament holder roll holder. And let's see here. As we flip this up, so this whole upper section is the primary carriage that is stored in here. And we can see the base down there. So let me get this out of here. We've got our base down there. And that has the control panel on it. And everything. So I'm going to take a quick moment here, get this out of the box, and then we will come right on back. Sorry about that. Took me a little longer to get it out of the box. So when you take it out, all of the cabling for the upper half is already connected down below. So you have to be careful. You can't just pull the top off. There is like an unscrew kind of connector. There's like a weird screw style on the side, but it goes right into a control box underneath here. And unscrewing it doesn't give you the ability to just pick up the upper half. So be aware of that when you're taking it out. The whole machine needs to come out of the box together. And it is pretty long, as you can see, and kind of heavy. So I am sorry if I am breathing hard, but it took me a moment to get that thing out of there and get it moved. So just keep that in mind. Now, I know that this is actually a final production model. I ordered it on Kickstarter. You may have seen videos before of this machine pre-design where they were like pre-full production models that people had. This is a final production model. So what you see here is virtually everything you get, with the exception of the Creality box. I think that was only for backers. As an option, I'd have to go back and look and go from there. So let's take a look at the instructions. Try to get this open. Nice warranty card and everything, so we'll look at that later. And here are the instructions. Tells you everything you should have. So let's begin installing. Now, I do like Creality's instructions. They're pretty well laid out, so you can see there, step by step. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put the sidebars on. And from what I can see here, they are supposed to go like so. We're going to do that, and they use the 5mm 12mm long screws. That's not those, that's these. And it looks like 4 apiece, or 2 apiece, excuse me. We'll do that and kind of get this thing rolling. I'm very excited for this machine just because of the fact that the belt design allows us to have the infinite print area. So if you're new to 3D printing, you may or may not have seen this machine before, but this machine is basically set up where we have our X and Y axis on the carriage, but then the Z axis is the belt. Now we normally think of Z up and down, X and Y being back and forth, and X being side to side, and Z up and down. This machine has X and Y on this carriage, where X is side to side still, Y is technically back and forth, but it's actually up and down almost at an angle, and then Z allows us to go in and out in this scenario. Now the advantage to this print style is the fact that with this belt, as it prints, we can push our print out one direction and extend it as far as we'd like. So if you're trying to print something long, examples being like cosplay swords, certain parts for things, what have you, this machine will allow you to not have to worry about slicing it up into multiple pieces just to make it fit on your bed. If you got the wrong size there. If you've been in 3D printing a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it all depends on what you're trying to print and make. Now, for me, I'm excited because the other option that this printer offers is not just long prints, but sequential printing, and there's going to be two styles of sequential. So there's printing the same part multiple times over and over, which on a traditional printer, print one or two, depending on your bed size, sometimes multiple pieces, and then you have to go pull it off, come back, and do it again. This printer, in theory, can push the print off on one side over here, so as it's printing, I could literally have one piece after another, like an assembly line, slowly having them jettison out. Now, the other potential sequential, which is what I don't remember if this machine is set up to do immediately, but will be in the future, is going to be where the machine can take one file after another, keep printing. So we start with one print of, say, a benchy or something along those lines. And we're printing constantly, which is great. So, you know, you can keep printing multiple parts. So if you're doing, like, an example being the R2 Builders Club, and you're trying to build R2's leg, well, R2's leg has multiple components. So you could print one piece after another without having to stop printer. With the exception of you have to change filament if it runs out of filament. Making this machine a print mill, or in this case, a assembly line of some kind. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. We'll have to see. Alright, so next is setting this up. That's going to be like so. Okay. And we are going to use two, the 21s, going to be the 45 millimeters that go all the way through here. Okay. That's going to be the long ones like this. They're going to go right in here, which is nice. Easy. Right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Here. Right. No. They go here, sorry. They go in the back. They're coming in this angle going through into the cross member up here. Sorry. Alright. Then I need the bigger wrench to assemble it. Definitely make sure you read the instructions. You assemble this. Now the thing that's different from the standard Creality printers is the carriage assembly is already assembled, where normally you have to go through and somewhat assemble the actual hot end. This one comes with an already assembled hot end, so that's exciting. Alright, next up, I need 5 of the 18 mil, not 5, 2. Those go through the top here. So these shorter silver ones are what we used up front here. Here, go here. That's okay, that's a lot better fitting than the ones I put over here. They were, well, they're 5 mil too, they're just too long. So you just seen a mistake right away. Nope, I am doing it wrong again. Oh, am I doing it again? Nope, I am doing it wrong again. Sorry. These are the longer 5 millimeter 18. Hold on. Nope. Okay. Sorry, so they actually have, for the front, up here, which are silver style, are a hexagon socket flat round, which is this one here, which is the silver ones. And then up here, they're using the 5 mil by 45 for here and here. And up here, they're using the 5 by 12 hexagon socket style. Or hold on, no. Need to. Oh, nope. I am reading it all wrong. These supposed to go. E2s. Are they supposed to come in from the bottom? Let me take a look. Here. Okay. Yeah, there are 2 holes down here at the bottom underneath this bar axis. So when you've got this here, this is where you put this guy on the bottom side. So that's number 22, and that's the socket caps, and that makes more sense because what I'm finding is they're doing more of these industrial black oxidized X's in areas where you're really not going to see them, and they're countersunk. So that's kind of neat. And I would normally say turn it over all the way, but all right, we are going to turn it over. Not the easiest machine to turn over, and I don't like dropping things, but we'll just turn it over to make it easy that we can get this in. And I don't know if you guys can see it. You see this silver connector here? This is the screw-on connector I was talking about. That is keyed. It does not come off. It just, well, it unplugs, but it doesn't allow you to pull the control board off. And the upper half, so all the wiring comes down and goes right into under here, which is great, but also kind of annoying when you're trying to assemble. But anyway, we're gonna put this here, and what we want to use is these on the sides. The silver 5x18, and there's 3 on each side, and they just screw. Yes, they do. Alright, so screw in. Waiting to see when I have to use these T-nuts. Assuming that's when this comes into play. Put the arm bracket on. Or the filament roll. Sorry, couldn't think of it. Almost there. On this side, and then I'll turn it around and do the other side here. Now what's nice too is there are nice good padded feet on the bottom, and they give it a good ground clearance going here, about a hand's thickness. So that's kind of nice. Not sure what people will come up with, but I could see somebody maybe making a little bit bigger ones so that you could have storage underneath this. There's plenty of space under there to do that based on the setup. So hopefully people will enjoy that for modifications in the future. Alrighty, just got that in. Alright, so now that that's assembled, what is next? Next will be the filament roll holder. Now that's going to go on this side, according to the instructions. Get up. And this machine has some heft to it. This is not a light machine. So according to this, it goes right here. There's actually, so they've got these plastic inserts along here, and they have a space in the plastic insert that covers up the V-slot for where these T-nuts go. And there's 2 of those with the M5/8s, the short guys. Ready? I like this. This is their standard filament roll holder. Creality, so if you guys have not seen these, you look at any Ender 3 or Sierra 10, it's the same style. My understanding is a lot of the parts from an Ender 3 made this available. So, and with the T-nut, you just drop it in, set it where you want it, and lock it in place. And as you tighten this down, may need to go in and slightly adjust it, just because sometimes the T-nut doesn't always want to spin. It's supposed to. Which is effectively what happened there. And it doesn't always grab on its first try. Yeah, but usually by the second time, it gets in there, starts spinning, and locks itself in. Alright, that's attached. Next up is the control panel, which is this, the LCD screen, which is going to go here. And it's going to be the same idea. Take 5x8s, and you're going to put them with the T-nuts, lock it to the aluminum extrusion. So this, put them through. Now, looking at this, there's a plastic film you can take off. I'm not going to do that now because I sometimes like to keep it on there until I'm sure I'm going to keep it where it is. And then there is a little ribbon cable connector back here that is unplugged, but it plugs in to the back of the LCD panel. And I'm going to plug that in while I'm back here. And it also looks like I ran grounding wire back here. Helps to plug it in the right way because it is keyed. Alright, so that's in place. And next up, it says to connect that and then connect your filament connection sensors and everything else. So there is a what they call Y limit line back here. And it's just 2 cables, 4-pin lead connector that you just plug in to itself. Though I feel like, depending on how small your hands are, might have a better time with this than I am. Because it is back here on the roller assembly. What I'm having a problem with is getting to line up. But once they are aligned, there we go. They are easy to plug in. So that's something to keep in mind. Then you have a small plug-in for the filament runout sensor, which is also keyed. And that is it. With the exception of just to insert the Teflon tube as well. So we will put that in here. There we go. That's hooked up. And then, of course, you got to check, depending on your voltage, 230 versus 115. I have to switch it because I am in US. So I just switch to 115. And that is the full assembly process of the Creality Print Mill, or better known as the Naomi 3D Print Mill. So there you go. I am going to do a review video of this machine once I get it up and running and spend some time with it. I just wanted to go through an unboxing and full assembly of this unit. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to see the review of this machine, especially since this is a final product variant versus the ones that have been shown in previous videos, which were pre-production or early production units. So there have been different changes. This belt is definitely different compared to the ones that I've seen in the videos, because this has got a way different look to it. The belt had a lot of lines on it, and some of them had like almost a pattern to them, but I don't see the pattern here like there was on that, and I don't know what side of the belt I'm seeing. So on the bottom there could be the area where people were talking about there's like a split in the belt where basically the belt is formed and put together. So that could run angular or it could run straight across on either end. So we'll see what that does. Some people had mentioned that that causes some strange errors with just how it prints, and sometimes creates lines in the print. But we'll see about that. So not too worried. But yeah, I'm going to do a review after I set this up fully and spend some time with the slicer and spending time with just understanding everything with this machine. So that's just going to be the next deal. And then if you guys are excited for that, which I hope you are, like I said, like and subscribe so that you can see that. And I just realized, ironically enough, I missed the 2 screws here that we had talked about. So I'll just put those in real quick and go from here. But yeah, I want to do a full review, or at least impressions video on this machine, as it is a unique design and brand new. So there are not a lot of these out there, at least for Creality. I know that this was a Kickstarter deal, so more people are going to get them as time goes on. And I know that there are other belt style printers, but they usually cost somewhere up in the couple thousands. This one I think is going to retail around $1,000, but I'll have to double check that. But I'll put that in my review video, especially when I show off the capabilities of this machine, and I am super excited for it. But as always, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the information I showed you and just watching it get put together. And like I said, like and subscribe to Nerd Manufactory in order to see the review of this machine and potentially some upgrades I may add to it in the future. But until next time, have a good night.